What's happening, guys, and welcome to Arsenal Crew. Today we are talking about the 4-0 win against Singapore 11. Amazing result for us, good result to build on for the up-and-coming season. Good to get the win, obviously. That's not always the biggest thing in a friendly game, in a pre-season game. It's the match fitness of the players, but it's nice to get a win and get the winning mentality. Chuba Akpom getting a hat-trick and Jack Wilshere scoring from the penalty spot. Chuba Akpom did really well in this game, personally. Scoring the hat-trick, he could have got more, but obviously the goalkeeper, he did have some very good saves made. But I pose this question to you quickly. Do you think that Wenger now will not buy a world-class striker? Because we all know what Wenger's like. He thinks that the youth is obviously the way forward, and it obviously is. But at this moment in time, do we really want to leave it to youth? We want to just bring in a world-class striker. If really, I think personally, Benzema would be the best choice if you were looking for Chuba Akpom to build up and become our first choice striker. Because if you get Lacazette can be around for a number of years more than Benzema, and that could hinder Chuba Akpom's progress. So if you want Chuba Akpom to be our main striker in the coming years, Benzema is your first choice. If you don't want him, then Lacazette is your choice. It's simple, really. And I think that's the question that Arsene Wenger's going to be asking himself. And he did come out yesterday and say Chuba Akpom is not going out on loan. He's going to be in the Arsenal squad for next season. Is that a mistake? We'll have to wait and see. But if you think pre-season, just because a player does well in pre-season doesn't mean that they're going to do well in the actual season. Because I think that's what happened last year with Yaya Sanogo. Wenger didn't go out and buy another striker because Yaya Sanogo did really well in the Emirates Cup and pre-season, comes to the main season, gets injured, completely falls and goes out on loan. And then we're stuck with the strikers we've got at the moment. And with the injuries that we had, it just hindered us last season. So hopefully Wenger will not make the same mistake 2 years in a row and just think that the players doing well in pre-season means that he doesn't have to buy players in those positions. But we'll have to wait and see. But Chuba Akpom, really, really well taken goals. First one, very good strike from him. Second one, very good penalty, very confident. Penalties are obviously very hard to do, to keep your mind concentrated on scoring that and not getting distracted by the thousands of people that are watching you. But he did really well. And then the headed goal, Hector Bellerin did really well with a lovely bit of skill to get round the defender and get the cross in. And it was a very powerful jump from Akpom to get that headed goal. And it's nice to see him, but does this mean that Wenger will not buy a world-class striker in the summer transfer window? I don't know. Hopefully, this doesn't mean that that will happen, but we all know Wenger. He could do anything. He could bring Kim Kallstrom back. We never really know, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, we will bring in a world-class striker, either Lacazette or Benzema. But obviously, it'll be very hard work to get those players. Obviously, yesterday I think it was the president of Lyon that came out and said that if a €50 million bid, which is about 36 to 42 million, round sort of roughly £1 million bid, was put down on the table for Lacazette, he would have to basically say goodbye to him and let him go. So that is sort of hinting that if Wenger goes in with like a 40 million bid, he's got Lacazette. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that move. But hopefully we will get a world-class striker in the summer transfer window. But back to the game. Players that did really well in this. Chuba Akpom, obviously. Jack Wilshere was really commanding of that midfield. And Oxlade-Chamberlain's running on the wing was very, very good as well. It was nice to see also that we didn't change the entire squad at half-time because the players did even better in the second half. after having the first 45 minutes and then carrying it on to the next 45 minutes. The ones that played the entire game did really well as well, like Chuba Akpom. Iwobi, he did well. He did seem to be trying a little bit too hard, but it's just typical of a young player that's trying to impress at the moment. But it's just, he did have some promising moments from this game. I did feel sorry for Emi Martinez in goal for the first half. Didn't even really touch the ball at all. In the second half, I think the players started to tire, and Singapore 11 started to get a few more chances, not really threatening us very badly, but they got a few more chances than they did in the first half. And Szczesny was made a bit busier than Emi Martinez in the first half. And Szczesny did actually quite well with the saves that he had to do. It wasn't really any acrobatic, it wasn't anything really difficult, but his concentration level was very good through his 45 minutes, because obviously we all know that his concentration is probably his biggest hindrance to him becoming a world-class goalkeeper. He normally just sort of switches off, doesn't concentrate, and makes stupid mistakes. But it was nice to see from him that he kept the concentration throughout the entire game, and I think that's what the Petr Cech signing has done for him. It's really given him a kick up the arse to concentrate, and he's now been seen that with Ospina, he didn't need to work as hard to get to be in the #1 spot for Arsenal in goal. But with Petr Cech, he's got to work 10 times harder than he would have last season with Ospina to get that first that starting spot with Arsenal. So it's this transfer of Petr Cech has done two very good things for us. One, it has got us a world-class goalkeeper. Since we haven't really had one since about David Seaman and Lehmann, but Szczesny, he did well. And two, it given Szczesny a big kick up the arse to concentrate throughout the entire game, which is very well needed for him, because obviously Southampton last year, well this year, but last season, he did not do very well, and that game was probably personally the worst game for him to do some stupid things like that for me personally, because my dad is a Southampton supporter. Obviously, I live in Bournemouth, so Southampton is one of the local clubs at the moment, apart from obviously Bournemouth. But honestly, that was the worst experience for me, having him make those stupid, ridiculous mistakes, and then having to listen to my dad take the piss out of me constantly because Southampton beat Arsenal, and it was just horrible. So he picked the worst moment personally for me to make those stupid mistakes. But obviously, hopefully he can make a better season this season coming up, even though he probably won't be playing as much with Petr Cech, but he obviously will get chances in the FA Cup and other cup competitions, and obviously Petr Cech will occasionally want a rest and he may get injured. Hopefully he won't, but there's obviously a possibility of that, but it could only improve Szczesny's game. But that has been my match review of the Singapore 11 v Arsenal 4-0 win to the Arsenal. Very good performance. But before I end this video, I just want to thank every single person that watched my match preview for this game. It's reached over 1,000 views on YouTube, and for me, that's just ridiculous. For me personally, I'm a small channel. I only really been doing this for less than a year, and to get one of my videos over 1,000 views, it means a lot. I know big channels, they get that in literally like a couple of seconds, but for me, if you have a YouTube channel that's small and you reach over 1,000 views on one of your videos, honestly, it means so much, and you just get a warming feeling inside you, and you feel so humbled, and it just shows the amazing fans that Arsenal do have to support me on my journey to hopefully become one of the bigger sort of Arsenal channels for you to get all your Arsenal news. But just thanks, guys. Thanks for all your support. We're close to 100 subscribers, so please make sure you're subscribing to Arsenal Crew And later on, after I filmed this video and edited it and it's gone up, I'm going to film the match preview for the Everton game. So make sure you are checking that out later on today, and you can watch that. Make sure you're leaving comments on how we can improve the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.